Hello, it's ArchieLuxury, and today, guys, we're on the Marcus Allen Frishman show. That's right, guys. This is an hour of entertainment. It's an hour of entertainment, and I got to tell you, this is fantastic news. We have him here now, the host, the man the show is named after. Let's get him on. This is Sir Allen Frishman. Hello, how are you, Marcus Allen Frishman? Oh, no sound. Sorry, we've got no sound. I'm sorry. For some reason, we don't have any sound. Some would say that's an improvement, but I would say it's not. He can hear me because he laughed at the quip. Let's see if we can get him on. So he might just log off, log back in. There's many things he could do. He's looking dapper. Look at that shirt there. It looks like a meteorite threw up on it. But we'll get him back. Just hang on. We'll get him back on the stream there. We're ready to go. We got the first super chat that's come in. Patel Philippe, $5. What are your thoughts on the McLaren 650 in Volcano Red? Big photos only show Frishman. You know what? I got to be totally honest with you. Supercars, I'm not sure if that's really my cup of tea. Hello. Oh, no sound again. We can't hear him. Are you plugged in? What mic are you using? Let me have a look here and see if we've got... I'll just check his mic set. He's set there. He's on full. He's just jumped off. We've got another super chat here. Sorry, another comment, which I thought was quite a good comment there. JT says there's an article about him online from 2007, which lists him as 47 years old. So he's a 65-year-old man who only dates women from impoverished countries in their 20s. You fucking betcha. Why not? JT, if you can get away with it, what law's being broken, fuckface? Why are you such a vicious pussy? Why are you such a cunt, JT? Good on him. Go for it. Go for it. If I could get away with that, I would. Volcano Red Lamborghini. We like our Lambos. We like our Lambo. We do like our Lamborghini. Yes, we do. Let's see if we can get our Mr. Frishman on the stream. We get him on here. JT, I'm a cunt again. Order has been restored. Whilst we're waiting, let's just call up these McLaren. What is it? This is Volcano Red. See, I got to be totally honest with you. McLaren, Volcano Red, 650s. And here we go. Let's see if we got him now. Hello.
Archie.
Ah, yes. Hello. That's okay. We're all set to trot here. Our first super chat from Patel Philippe. He said,
Archie,
what are your...
Are we on? Can you hear me?
Yes, we are live. We are live. And we are live. We are well. And we're all doing great. How's that sound?
How does that sound?
Now, you shouldn't have the program in the background. I think you've got the program running in the background. You only have the StreamYard. Don't run the program because there's a delay.
Well, I don't know anything about a program. What program?
Nothing's running in the background? Okay. No worries. That's fine. We'll leave it be because it's gone now. Patel Philippe has said to us here, what are your thoughts on the McLaren? Are you a McLaren man? I'm not sure if you're really a McLaren.
Absolutely not. I have a friend with a McLaren. It doesn't do anything for me, Archie. Sorry to say. No.
Volcano Red.
I don't like many cars. I just don't. I like the Ferrari. I like the Porsche. I like the BMW. I like the Rolls Royce. I like the Bentley. And I think we've narrowed it down to all I like.
I got to be honest with you. I think as an overall package, right, these sort of cars here, these supercars, even your Porsche Cayman and the 911, they're very tight on space. For a normal, I think for in many cases, a BMW 3 Series would be a much more usable car.
Yes.
Porsche's got certain cachet to it. By the way, they've worked out your age as being 65. We've done some detective work. JT says that he found an online article from 07 which lists him as 47, so he's 65.
JT also reads the online article that's full of lies and inaccuracies as well. I know that one line on article. It's a throwaway newspaper that claimed a lot of things that are not true. But one never asks a gentleman his age, Archie. You know that.
Now, I got to tell you there, it's, he says, you've been dating women only in their 20s. So what? Get a life. Get a life. If you can get.
Let's be clear. Hold on. Let's be clear. I have stated that. Are we going to keep looking at this car, this McLaren here? It's getting a little disconcerting.
I think, dude, what do you think? Do you honestly think this car here would be? What do you think of it? Tell me this. Can I show you my dream car? Can I show you my dream car?
I love the color, Archie, but the car is not for me.
I went into the Mercedes configurator yesterday. Some people say, what am I doing? Well, sometimes I'm designing cars. Okay, let me show this one to you. So I was fucking around. This is my dream car, Mercedes-Benz. And I don't need an AMG version. You know what I mean? I'm perfectly happy with the can you see that full? I'm just doing it full.
Yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful car.
What do you think of that? Seriously, what do you think? Look at that.
It looks beautiful. I'm just sorry to say Mercedes is not making the car that they once made.
That's the hard top. But look, I'd pick this blue, and I chose that interior as well. The cream, sorry, the light tobacco brown. Yeah. What do you think? Is that a nice car or not?
It looks very much like the Bentley, actually, in some ways. And Bentley does a powder blue color that is to die for, Archie. It's gorgeous.
And also, by the way, there with that Mercedes-Benz there, I just want to show you they've also got the inside. You can have a look inside. This is the inside of the. Look at that. Is that a nice?
It's gorgeous. No, I've never seen the inside of that. It's gorgeous.
It is absolutely beautiful, beautiful car.
That tan is the same color, although I have in my Porsche 911, the tan is the entire inside is tan. There's no.
And look at the inside. Tan. It's got the lights, the Tiffany lights. You can set that to any color. Look, it's a beautiful Mercedes-Benz. So that's about 150,000 Australian dollars, which is it is a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but there you go. We got another super chat. We got another super chat in here. Patel Philippe, $5. Would you prefer if your kids gifted you a 5712 or a Testarossa white on red, big photos only? So firstly, the Patek 5712, one of the classic Patek Philippe's of all time. Just a beautiful, very, very valuable watch, 100,000 over US. And the other option was a Ferrari Testarossa in red. This is the classic Ferrari Testarossa. You know what? Ferrari's considerably more. I think the watch would be easier to live with. The Ferrari would be a little bit tricky. They a 12-cylinder Ferrari. That's right, 12. Cylinder.
This is the Ferrari for me.
Actually, that's a California, isn't it? Or that's a Portofino.
Yeah. It's a Portofino, and it is gorgeous. 145,000.
See, that's okay. 145,000. Would you buy one?
Yeah, I would.
Who knows if this show takes?
red.
Okay, so that's the Mercedes there. And you know what? I don't mind. This has got the 2-liter engine in it.
A wristwatch check. The
Ooh,
most sought
wristwatch
off.
check. I'm wearing the gold Breguet. Gold Breguet time. Gold Breguet.
Right, well,
you're wearing the
I'm
gold
wearing
sub.
the 18-karat gold blue Submariner, the most sought-off watch in the world, and those that are less fortunate buy it in stainless steel.
Two-tone for the blue.
Well, excellent. So Archie, what's happened all week? You're looking good.
Hey, thank you so much there. We've got another super chat. JT, $2. Get Narc to interview him. Super chats will come. Look, Narc is a character on the stream who's a bit of a nasty fuck. There's no way in the world. I trying to keep Marcus coming every week. If I got Narc involved.
And you know, Archie, there are people that have accused us in the chats, which I review. I read every single comment at the end of the show. And there are a few people that have said, you know, Archie, Marcus must be paying Archie to do this. Well, I have not paid Archie a penny in my life. I have tried to pay him twice just to be good-natured. Years ago, I went to Patreon and I wanted to do a contribution. I didn't because it wouldn't allow a single contribution. And I went to it the other day, Archie. I sent you an email and I said, Archie, I can't give a single contribution. I have to be tied into a monthly billing. So I became cheap. I reneged, but I was going to be generous. But no, officially, I have never contributed.
You can actually do that. You can sign up, make a donation, and then you
cancel.
can cancel.
I gave it a thought. Yeah, I did give that a thought.
Tell Philippe $2. Show me the cheapest Boxster in Queensland. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad thing to look at. So let's have a look at that. So we want to see the cheapest Boxster in Queensland. So the place is car sales. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear all. Let's find this. The cheapest box. This is to show you what it's actually like in Queensland. Let's have. This is where I am.
Regardless of the year. By the way, when I type in boxers, I get underwear. But you know what do I know?
Okay, let's have a look. Porsche. There's 2,000 Porsches in Australia. And what we want is Boxster. Okay, let's go. That's it. Search. Let's have a look, big boy. And we want to search from low to high. Let's see what the cheapest Boxster in Australia. Let's do Australia, okay? Because there we go. The cheapest Boxster at the moment in Australia.
2,500.
Fuck, look at that. Cheapest car is $500 for a Mazda Tribute. Fuck, these are some bangers. Fuck, what happened here? What did I press? What did I press? Back.
Can't take
it. There we go. The cheapest Boxsters. Okay, it's coming up now.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Beautiful yellow.
Low to high.
I had a Porsche Cayman in yellow like that. I've had 6 Porsches. Number 4 was yellow.
Do you become a prick after you've got the Porsche, or are you a prick before you get the Porsche?
Way before. Yeah, kind of way before.
Okay. Here we go. There we go. The cheapest Porsche in Australia is one in New South Wales for $15,000. It's got 200,000 kilometers, which is about 140,000 miles. It's not. That's not terrible, is it?
No, it's a beautiful.
Let's have a look and see what it's like. So that's 15 Aussie. That's about 10 US. 10 US. It seems quite usable. Look at that. Oh, a few little. It's not terrible.
Well, it's old. You know, Archie, I have trouble buying used things. I know you've counseled me. I've only bought a few.
Is it a manual? I think it might be a manual as well. This could be a manual.
My first Porsche was a Boxster, and it was manual. It was the anniversary edition put out in 2004. and it was priced a point at about 65,000, which put it.
Yes, it's
about,
manual. It's a 986 manual. Fucking hell, that's actually not a bad car. That's not as terrible as you think there.
If it runs.
So 50, that's 10,000 US dollars, guys. 10,000 US. What have they got? What else is there? There's another manual. This is a little bit older. What have they got? 17. There's another one. It's in WA. You know what, guys? That could be the ultimate party gag, is to buy Archie a used car. A used car. A used banger. Look at this. It says 20,000. That looks quite respectable there. Look at that. That looks quite respectable. These aren't terrible. See, they always, in my country, Porsches were always loved. They've always been a loved car.
People take care of a Porsche. I mean, they really do. It's not a banger car. It never will be.
In America, see, I think the problem is, let me explain it to you. In Australia, we generally do have parking. We're a dry climate for starters. See, in America, if you are living in New York or the salt, the environment is very hard on your car. See, we don't have that problem in Australia because we're a dry climate.
Well, they don't sell a lot of Porsches. If you look it up, they don't sell a lot of Porsches in New York. The Porsche market, for example, I
would have thought with that many assholes, there'd be so many Porsche owners, don't you?
Well, I'll give you one numeric number. So I had a 2014 Porsche. It was a Cayman. There were only 2,000 plus sold in all America of that year, and almost all of them was California and Florida. They get moved around when they become secondhand, but that's was the initial sale locations. Almost none are sold in other places. There's a lot of reasons for that. Places like Boston and New York City, you don't really use. It's very difficult to use a car. Let me just put it that way. Where cities like Los Angeles, states like Los Angeles, the entire state, we all have to have cars. And in California, when you're 15 and a half years old, you get a car. No matter how poor you are, your dad gets you a car, or you get one yourself, because if you don't have a car at 15 or 16 and a half, and unless you want to pay for Uber, you are going nowhere. You're not going to see friends, school, you're not going anywhere. You got to have a car. So everyone in California at driving age gets a car.
Look at this, the yellow one. This is for 24,000, 120. That's not actually terrible at all, is it?
There's something wrong with that yellow or that picture. I don't know.
No, that's a factory color. It's okay. It's quite a neat, clean car. This is well looked after car.
Clean. That's well maintained. It's just something's wrong with it. The yellow.
I think it's the lighting. The lighting.
Yeah, I don't think they make a yellow like that.
No, they do. Yeah. They do make that yellow. That's a factory color.
You sure?
I've seen that before.
Well, I thought I thought they only made one yellow. Here's my car, Archie. And yesterday, I just got it re-ceramicked. I'll take a picture of it. How
often do you ceramic coat it? Actually, I must tell you,
this is a new car. I've only had it a couple of years, but I just had it yesterday, detailed and then graphite ceramic, and I had somebody do it for me. It took him about 7 hours, and he came to the house. The previous time in my previous car, I did it myself, and it took 9 hours over 12 days, Archie. I mean, it was grueling. I'm not doing it again. And it cost me in supplies $450. I just decided I wanted to do it again because the first ceramic I had done to my previous Porsche, now 3 Porsches ago, that cost me $1,200. So I watched how they did it for $1,200. Then I did it myself at a cost of $450 in supplies. And then
you think you did a better job? Did you do a better job?
I did a better job, I think, than the $1,200 option, but I did not do a better job than the gentleman who did it yesterday for me.
How much did he charge you?
This guy was very thorough. He charged me $600, just under. Very good. Well, that's a special price. That's not his standard price. I won't bore you with why. But yeah, so he did a paint correction and several components that involve paint correction. And then he did the graphite ceramic. Only the exterior. That's it.
I see.
For Archie, you know, my signature color is red. Everything I own is red. I get red stuff, and I have a beautiful Zin watch in my hands.
Oh, I see. Beautiful. I got another super chat. I got to catch up here. Patel Philippe, $2. Alpha 4C versus Lotus Elise. Big photos only.
Alpha 4C.
Do you like the Alpha 4C?
No, but I did find my the picture of my Triumph, and I meant to show it to you. So let me do that.
These are absolute little rockets. They've only got small engine in them, but they are a fucking pocket fucking rocket. Look at this here. This is a beautiful, beautiful. I love the Alpha 4C. Carbon fiber tub. That's right, carbon fiber tub. It's only a 4-cylinder engine in it. And the other option was a Lotus.
Archie, can I interrupt you? So I'm good at
Sure,
that.
you can.
I'm going to show you the car I wanted to show you last week. My dad bought me this. The Triumph.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, full screen.
Full screen. Triumph TR7 convertible. And there it is. It has a bra on it. And it was stolen in front of my house. It was the second car that was stolen from me in my life. And there it is. The TR7 gold color convertible. The year, it would have to be, well, I'm having trouble with the year. 80, I don't remember the year. I got a ZX in 80. You know, somebody corrected me last week on the chats about my ZX anniversary edition. I said I got it in 84. No, he was right. It was an 80 car that I got rid of in 84. So this one was pre-80, 1980. So I don't remember the year, maybe 79 or 80. And I had, because the Z replaced it and it was stolen. No, I don't remember the year.
Now, just going to get back to Tanzil there. That's the Alfa Romeo 4C. And then the other one is the Lotus Elise. Let's have a look at the Elise.
Beautiful, but it has so many mechanical issues.
I think I'd go with the Lotus because it's more of a, I love these. These are so, I'd go with the Lotus because it's more, that's what Lotus does. They specialize in these sort of cars. I'd go Lotus. We got Patel Philippe, $2. Best Croffett Trésor LV trunk to get in and size. Now, I got to tell you honestly, with these Louis Vuitton Trésor. Let's have a look here. The Trésor is actually a small box. It's not a trunk. It's not a trunk. You mean that's a different. I've got one, and this is my photo here. This is my. Look at that. That's actually my. I own that box. That's the box because, you know, Marcus, I always love a box with a pink interior.
Well, that's
you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I'm trying to see about this Lotus. Well, it's very pretty, but it's not very practical. You have that box, Archie? That's your box?
That's my box, yes. They're about 7,000 US now, I think.
It is gorgeous.
They're very expensive. I had some damage in a burglary, but yeah, that's what it is there.
They didn't take the box?
Trésor LV trunk to get. So this is, they do two sizes. I think they do a 24 and a 20. I'd get the bigger one. This is a 24. I love it. I love that. And I've had mine painted by them. They custom paint it for you.
Oh yeah, they'll take the products and fix them.
I can go and get it if you really want to see it. If you want
I
to
would
see it,
love to see that. I would love to see that box.
okay, I'll just
I
put you
may have
up
seen
full
you show it
screen.
before, but let's see it again. Let's see
I'll go and get it. I'll be back. Okay.
because it's meant to be seen. Something like that. Looks like I have to take over the show. Well, let's watch some watches here. Here's my Rolex Explorer. Here's my Rolex Explorer. Well, we call the first one the Explorer 2, right? Explorer 1, but it's really just called the Explorer. Then here is my 18 karat gold Cartier that began my collection of over 100 watches. The Moon Face. It is not an automatic. My father got it for me for graduation. The Cartier Moon Face Santos. And I, of course, had to, in the late 2000s, buy the Santos stainless steel to match it. I'm showing some of my older watches. This is a Tiffany 18 karat gold. It is the Tiffany brand top of the line watch. They still make it, called the Terroso, I believe. It comes with a gold band if you want it. It's quite expensive. And this has 18 karat gold clasps. We, of course, have the Reverso. The Reverso, beautiful watch. The Verso Grande, meaning it is the largest version of the JLC Reverso with a fabulous clasp. We have the IWC Pilot Watch. I'm trying to see what else I have here. Oh, this was my first Rolex. The Datejust. Beautiful, beautiful Rolex. I just had it reconditioned a few years ago and never wore it again. Most of these watches I never wear. It's just, that's just me. This, of course, puts Rolex to shame. This is the first dive watch ever. Rolex copied it, the 50 Fathoms. This particular model is titanium. Titanium clasps in a normal buckle and beautiful titanium body. The original dive watch. It's a gorgeous, it's quite large. It's quite a big watch. And then we have my Rolex Deep Sea, which is the Submariner on steroids, the depths of exceeding 12,000 feet. And Archie
I'm back. You want to see my box? My box.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Okay, so
Archie,
now I've actually had it custom painted because
does it have a handle?
No, it's a little trunk.
Oh.
So it's got AC3, Archibald Chesterfield III, and I've had the top painted. You see, it's got a stripe. The stripes put on.
What's that on the left? What's painted?
Oh, that's a little Japanese doll.
Oh, it's very nice, Archie.
Yeah,
I don't have any I have their wallets, of course, but you're saying that the cost of that retail price
and just to show you, that's the original. I gave them that and said, can you paint it on the top?
Who's they?
Louis Vuitton. Louis
Vuitton actually painted that Chinese doll on your piece?
Japanese.
I'm surprised.
Why? These are $7,000 fucking dollars. They will suck my cock in the showroom if I ask them.
I have seen Louis Vuitton turn away repairs that I have brought, but what can I tell you? Archie, what do you think of this?
You know what this box is for? Do you know what this box is for?
No.
So this box, okay, this is why the French, okay. So can I just, before I tell you what the box is for, let me just say one thing to you. It is French to have an affair. It's American to get caught. Now, what this box is for is, you know how you have your sweetheart, right? Your lover.
Yes, Miss Winkle.
this is where you would put your love letters inside the box. That's what it's for. So in my case, there we go. That's the love letters, right? The love letters. And I use a wax seal on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So this box, it's called this is a box for love letters. So that's a love letter. You would put it in there with all your love letters. And it has a lock. So that's what it's for. It's a love letter box for your lovers.
I just wrote a love letter. I had ChatGPT help me. No joke.
Was it good?
I just did it. Yeah, I gave ChatGPT the details, which really took about 30 minutes. All these thoughts, and then boom, comes out the letter, and then I had it change.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah, I can send it to you. Well, it's not public. You won't release it, but yes, I'll let you see it.
No, of course not. That would be ungentlemanly.
Of course. All right, you'll get it in an email. Okay. I will send it to you in moments after this.
So that's where you have your love letters. See your love letters, multiple love letters. You put them in your box. That's what the whole box is for. It's a love letter box. Do you understand?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, but it looks like your box is empty, but it only has one letter in it.
No, because you
gotta fill that box up, Archie.
I don't want the wife to see.
Oh, gotcha. And there's no lock. No, there is a lock. Where's the key? Where's the key?
I've got the key. It's a standard LV key. That's it. That's the love letter box. You know what? Touching that thing also gives you good luck. You know that?
No, I didn't know that. It is gorgeous.
And is it worth the money? Look.
No. I've only owned their wallets. They're quite expensive. A few times I have bought them.
They're a bit overpriced. Can I just bring something up? Let's go and have a look. Let's go shopping together, okay?
Yeah, good idea.
You know, I love this show because we're in a relaxed format. We just talk. We chew the fat together. You know what I mean?
We're looking
here we go.
Oh, you went to the website. Okay.
Yeah, so it's 9,150 Australian, okay? Now they've improved it a bit now. It actually comes with a little, so that's the colors they come in, look.
Oh, look at the red and the pink. So Archie, that's about what, 7,000 US? 9, 7, 8,000?
6,000 US, 6,000. Oh. Is that a lot of money?
Yes. It's gorgeous.
You could buy a good secondhand car for that, couldn't you?
I don't buy secondhand cars. I don't know. But it is beautiful. I like the gold interior too, or the yellow, or whatever that is. It looks gorgeous.
Yes, all beautiful. Yes, it's beautiful. When I got mine, I bought mine pre-owned, of course. The red is gorgeous too. Don't you think that red?
It's gorgeous. Red is gorgeous. I love red. Everything red. I'm a red guy. Red is my signature color, Archie.
Mm-hmm. So I was just trying to show you that's there. So these boxes, let's have a look here. So we have a look. Trunks, home, trunks and boxes. Let's have a look. This is what I find really. I like these knickknacks. You like knickknacks? You're a knickknack man.
I am a knickknack guy, and I would love to have their trunk. I have seen and admired that.
Paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played too. Knick-knack, paddywhack. That's where they knickknacks come from. Knick-knack. So let's just have a look here. I want to show it.
I think Mr. Bueller can get his own collar.
This is their boxes because I love a box. Now, see, this is what they sell. That's the trunks, right? Suitcases. These are the big. I love these big ones. $130,000. They're a little bit.
Look at the red one.
How about that for 50,000 Australians? It's about 30,000 US.
No, I want the red box for
This
164,000.
old man, he had two. Dot 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 dot. Look at that at the end of the bed. This is for super
Oh
rich
my
people.
God. It's
Rich
gorgeous.
people. And can you imagine you know what this box also doubles as? You can be eating someone.
I would bury myself.
It gives you extra. Yeah, it's actually so. I've got a few boxes. President. I've got one of these. President briefcase.
Yeah, you have a briefcase.
I had a lot of them stolen, but I've actually replaced a few. I must say. There we go. 16,000.
I don't use briefcase. I'm a
amazing
bag man,
stuff.
but I have some very nice Bosca bags, Coach briefcases.
Let's have a look at boxes. I'll show you their boxes. I love a good LV box. I love boxes. You know, look at these boxes. Look at that. That's a jewelry box. See, I've got a few of them. They got a coffee trunk. Look at these. That's a watch box.
Oh, look at
watch
the one
box. They got any letter of the alphabet you can get.
Well, that looks ridiculous. That one. Oh, look at that!
There's a dog bowl box. Look at that.
The dog bowl box. Oh,
that's the one I've got. 13,000. I've got that one for the watches. The jewelry. They got some amazing. Oh, can I show you? Can I show you what happened to my box after the burglars came into my house? Can I show it to you?
Why would they not take it? How did they leave that?
Because it was in the safe. They drilled a hole, so to get the contents out, they had to smash it.
Oh, right. They couldn't get the box out of the safe. The hole wasn't big enough.
Here we go. This is my box here. Have a look.
Well, I see it's... What the... They destroyed it.
Yes.
How did they do so much damage to it if they didn't remove it? I mean, they couldn't remove it. They tried to?
No, they cut a hole into the safe to get the contents out. They cut it. Yeah, they cut it into pieces, see?
Oh my God, what idiots. When I travel, my watches go into a different safe at a different location from where I live. And I travel with 8 watches usually because that's what's in my roll and on my wrist. You traveled with one watch.
I got to tell you something, Marcus, Alan. It was a sad day. Sad day, you know.
Archie, I watched every one of those videos where you talked about it, every one of them.
Yeah, but you know, I've actually gotten over it. At the moment, I'm facing more obstacles because let me tell you, Marcus, my revenue in my business, I've just done my tax figures because we go half year to half year. So July to June. Okay. That's our financial year. And Marcus, what I've discovered is that in my business, Marcus, my revenue has halved since last year.
Oh God!
So I've got some difficult decisions to face, but we got a couple of super chats. Look at this. We got super chats coming in. We got Patel Philippe, $2. Why not flick a watch or two and get a Boxster? You know what, Patel? I often ask myself the same thing. Prices on cars were really, Porsche's still overinflated in my opinion. In Australia, even though the rest of the car market's come back a lot, Porsche is still wanker pricing. But I definitely will. Sam Davidson, £2. Marcus, how often do you clean your daily driver? You take it through a car wash, don't you?
I wash it only once a month, Archie, because of the ceramic coating. It repels dirt. I used to routinely, after having 6 Porsches, clean them every week in a professional wash. But I don't need to do that.
In a car wash, you mean?
Once a month. But let me also tell
you. Car wash or by hand?
Car wash. a hands-free professional car wash. It's $35 in America, and it seems like the price keeps going up every time I visit
Marcus,
them every month.
car
I think
washes, you should never take a luxury car through a car wash.
this is a hand wash. You know, it's all hand done. It's only for luxury cars. But let me say
Patel
this.
Philippe, $2. 2016 Pagani Hurea Hermes edition. That's right. Hermes actually did something in the car area. Let's get it up. Let's get it up on the screen. This is the Pagani. I'm not a big. How the fuck would you get a Pagani service? That's what I want to know. How the fuck would you get this thing serviced? So this is the Pagani. Look at this. Have a full big picture.
To me, it looks like a scrap car.
I don't know if I like the color, to be honest with you.
The color's horrible.
That's the Hermes edition. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. We got another super chat here. Scott Conway. This is your friend. Your friend.
Oh, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Wait,
Scott Conway, $20. My last girlfriend was 18 years younger. She was blonde, stacked, and beautiful. My daughter-in-law said, "You only want one thing from her. What do you talk about afterwards?" I answered, "Dear, conversation is overrated."
Oh, well,
Scott, he's living the dream.
Well, good old Scott. Yes, but let me make a comment on that. Good old Scott has grown up. He's an adult man. I am a pueriternus. I have never grown up. Pueriternus is Latin for forever boy. And I'm proud to say that's who I am. And so in my long-term committed relationships with women that have never been over 28 before I have started a relationship with them, let me say that it's conversation that drives my relationships. It's activities and conversation. It has nothing at all driven by sexual or intimate activity. That is not what drives it. That's easy, Archie. Beauty and sex is easy. What's tough is having a connection with a woman. And if you can accomplish that with things of interest, conversation, hobbies, that's the key to success in a relationship. That's why I've had such long committed relationships back to back.
Very good to hear. Very good to hear, Marcus.
Archie, before we go, we're into the show. I wanted to tell one short story because I thought it would be
please do.
I would like to tell the story of how a case was developed against me in the Philippines, a criminal case, and how I won.
Yes.
Just to title it. So this was a scam, of course, because 90% of the interactions emanating from the Philippines, where I live 4 months a year since 2023. And for the first 5 years, I did it on behalf of the California government at the direction of my job. And then I got a life there with a committed relationships. One day, I was in the most prestigious building in Makati, Philippines. That's the financial district. It's called the Petron Building, and it's fine. It's the I think Petron is their oil company, so it's a significant place. And I was visiting there to do some business related to my condominium that I was buying, and no longer living at the Etsa Shangri-La Hotel, which I had lived at for 5 years. And while I was leaving, I noticed there was a business promoting a vacation to a specific location for the purchase of what their equivalent of timeshares would be, percentage ownership in.
I hate timeshare. Can I just say that?
But I didn't really know what it was, but it caught my attention because it was a location I had not yet visited. Having been to the island of Boracay 84 times, I thought maybe I should pick another place. So I went into this little office. I found it very strange that this little office, this little business would be in such a prestigious location on like the 34th floor. And I asked to inquire about what they're doing and what they had to offer. And I spent, according to them, and probably accurately, under 10 minutes in that office. That office consisted of a tiny little room with a receptionist, a video camera videotaping the interactions of people as they come and go. And that was it. And then obviously a very large back room with executives or something. So I went in there and I had a small conversation about taking this trip to see this property. And then I took contact information and I left and I said goodbye. And that was the end of it. I had a conversation with a 20-something young lady. Within about 15 minutes of that encounter, I received text messages that were outrageously shocking, saying that I had done this horrible thing. And I immediately, I'm going, who is this and what is this about? I picked up the phone and I called the person, and a man answered, and he said, you were just in my office and you created a scandal. It's a phrase they use in the Philippines, creating scandals. It's a thing. It's when you create an incident. They call it a scandal. We would call it a disruption or something else. I said, sir, I was in your office 10 minutes, and I doubt this is a legitimate call. Who are you? Small talk. He says, you come back to this office now. Well, I hung up on the man. That's in the Philippines. That's a pretty dangerous thing to respond to go back to an office. So after getting text messages from some unknown person, I mean, it's a dangerous country. And I kept getting these text messages over and over, and he was demanding I pay reparations. He was vague as to what I did that created the scandal, and I just ignored it. Well, it dwindled off, text messaging over the last 5 or 6 days. Within a few weeks, because I was in the Philippines for 4 months, within a few weeks, I received mail at my residence that was requiring that I attend a hearing at the prosecutor's office. Now, in the Philippines, the way they conduct a criminal investigation is they create a prosecutor hearing, and if there's enough evidence against you, they then refer it to trial. That's how they do it. Okay. Here's the trick. I went to an attorney and I said, what is this? It's some notice to come, and it's an affidavit of wrongdoing, claiming I did all of this stuff over 3 pages. And who signs it? A name that I didn't recognize, but it turns out to be the young lady receptionist. So I go to this attorney. By the way, I went to the attorney was the former ombudsman, which is equivalent to the Attorney General of the United States of America. You couldn't get a better attorney than that. He was my friend's father. And I went there and I met with his team, and he said, Marcus, did you do this? What was described in the 3 pages? And I said, well, yes, I think I did. I think it's 3 pages of exaggeration of exactly what happened in that room. There is no lies that I can see. He said, this is a scandal, and you created the crime of unjust vexation. I said, well, how is that? Okay, here's what unjust vexation is. I brought it up. In the Philippines, unjust vexation is an annoyance. I've been charged with being an annoying person. I'm not rewording it. I read the statute. I'm looking at it. Annoyance refers to a type of human conduct which is not caused by physical harm. It is caused by simple annoyance, irritation, or distress on the part of the receiving innocent person. The key act may disturb that person or bother them. Intent doesn't matter, Archie. It didn't matter what the intent was or what the words were. I could have said, have a beautiful day. But if that person doesn't like beautiful days, it's unjust vexation, because all that mattered was how they took it. I said, you got to be kidding about this law. He said, well, it's selectively enforced, but it was created in 2009 to cause trouble with foreign visitors who don't appreciate our polite culture. And I said, oh my goodness. He said, Marcus, you may be guilty. Well, what's the penalty? The penalty is like 1,000 pesos to 10,000. So $20 to 250, up to 1 day to 30 days in jail. You have to go visit the prosecutor. He'll make the decision whether it's referred to trial or you'll plead guilty without a trial. I'm not pleading guilty to this nonsense. Here's the worst of the 3 comments. There were 3 comments. Here's the worst. Everyone agrees. This is the worst comment. Before leaving the office, I said, see you in Boracay, and it's T-back bikini only. And I left. You can hear me say that, right? It's a shtick. And yes. I walk out the door. That was the most offensive thing I had said, and they would agree, the accusing party, because that's what they said. Well, here's what happens. I'll wrap it up. I go to the hearing alone. They have a hearing alone with me. Then they want to have a hearing with her and her bosses who are trying to scam me out of money, because that's what all those texts are about. It's a shakedown.
How much money did they want from you?
Hey, reparations. I never asked them because we never got that far, but they were demanding money. And I went in, and when I told the prosecutor, he says to me, well, why don't you pay them? I thought to myself, are you kidding me? He says, pay the reparations and we'll close this out. I said, Mr. Prosecutor, wish I could remember his name. He had a very interesting, I forgot. I said, Mr. Prosecutor, when you and they decide that, I remember exactly how I said this, that reparations will amount to 1,000 pesos, which is about $20 at the time. I want you to write down in your file, would you get a pen and paper out, please? He did. Write it down. I'm rejecting 1,000 right now in advance, so you don't have to call and ask me. I'm telling you no. I'll go to jail. And before I go to jail, I'm going to stand in front of the United States Embassy. I'm a government official at the time. I am going to expose this nonsense internationally. Have at it. I'm ready to serve my time. And he, of course, only refers it to the trial judge. But he says, let me meet with them and we'll get back to you. He meets with them. And then I get a phone call from the prosecutor's assistant. And she says to me, Marcus, the prosecutor would like to meet you to discuss this further. And he has selected this restaurant in the most expensive hotel in the Peninsula Hotel in Makati. All right, so I go down there. But I now have been educated by my lawyer. So my lawyer says, you have to give him a gift. I noticed he was a collector of crystal in his office. I made comments about it. So I went to Rustin's and I picked a most beautiful Waterford crystal mail holder. It was gorgeous. And I brought it and I wrapped it. And when he arrived, I said, sir, I won't pay reparations to them, but I will pay my respects upon you with this gift. And he opens it up. If you did this in America, you'd be arrested at the table. But this is what I was told to do. So I gave it to him, and he thanked me. We had a nice lunch, and he just kept trying to get me to pay them. And the number that came up was 50,000 pesos. Would settle it. 50,000.
How much is that?
Every 10,000 pesos is at the time about $250. So I said, no, sir, I told you when it's $20, the answer is no. Let's go. Have at it. I don't think I'm guilty of unjust taxation because of some micro components to the law anyway. So I thought I had a defense, right, to this silly law. And here's what happened. So he rendered an opinion which could have referred me to trial. And it was long, 8 pages. And it read that she was not truthful in her presentation by his own opinion, and that she caught her in a lie or a conflict to something she said in the room when he interviewed her. They do it alone, ex parte. You don't get to confront your witnesses in the Philippines, I guess, until the trial. And he then went on for 2 pages of how honest and straightforward and I was, and how the cultural differences could have facilitated this misunderstanding, and that I'm a funny guy, and that I was a joker. And he just justified this comment that I told you, the one that was the worst. I can't remember what the other two were, frankly. And he cleared me of any wrongdoing, and he called her a liar, and he accused the boss of influencing her and scamming, because the boss kept attending and calling him to push this. So I was cleared of any wrongdoing. But the funny part of this story is that in the Philippines, they do have this statute of unjust vexation. If you upset someone, it doesn't matter your intent or the actual words that you said. If they took them and were disturbed by them, they can then, listen to this is the key part, they can on their own file a criminal charge against you. There's no police investigation. There's no need to call the police. In the Philippines,
This is ridiculous.
A citizen in the Philippines can do what's called an affidavit of crime, cite the crime, write a 3 or 4 page statement, affidavit, submit it to the Makati City Hall or any city hall, and then it gets referred to a prosecutor for a hearing based on the individual's allegation of criminal violation. So there's never a police interaction or an investigation to determine if you committed elements of the crime. The citizen in the Philippines can do this, right? So, and bypass the normal process of filing a police report and then having the police determine if you've committed a crime. So it's something we don't do in America. And also, if we had this law in America, probably all of us would be guilty, because we have so many comments that disturb each other. We're just like unjustly vexating every day. That's my story. I thought it would be interesting to
so how does a law like that exist? That's so ridiculous.
I was accused of being annoying. The law says causes annoyance or irritations on the part of the receiver of the...
So what happened in the end? You did it go to trial?
I became a very good friend of the prosecutor. There was a little formality meeting I had to have with the immigration to make sure that they made it go away. I met with the chairman of the president.
So why would they do this? Purely to make money out of doing this?
Well, they were the first level was, this guy's going to come back up. We're going to shake him down. He will get some money out of him. The second was, we're going to use the system to get money out of him. And you could see he tried. The prosecutor told me in the meeting to give them money. The prosecutor told me at lunch to give them money. I was refusing. I said, let's just take this all the way. And then in the end, the prosecutor, after he met with her in their hearing, which is separate, her hearing, it's a girl. I don't even know her name. I was not flirting. I had a girlfriend. I was not doing anything intended.
What made you go to the office in the first place? It was like a timeshare.
Yeah, I was interested. I was passing. I was heading back to the elevator when I saw it. I said, oh, this is interesting. And I went in and just wanted to find out about this particular location where you...
How did they get your name and details?
Oh, I gave them my card. I have a Philippine business card with an American flag and a Philippine flag.
So they actually sent a subpoena to go to court, like a court document to get you to court.
Yeah, I was subpoenaed to the prosecutor, and I went, and I told you what happened. I had my hearing that ultimately determined she lied and was not determined to be truthful, and then he praised me for 2 or 3 pages of the multiple-page decision, and that's where it ended. So this happens to foreigners in the Philippines all the time. I learned later, I'm sitting with my attorney, who was worthless, by the way. And as much as I loved him, he really didn't do anything. He just gave me some advice, and I was on my own. And it was a very fast process, frankly. But yeah, you can learn, and then I was focused on this law, and I was reading the newspaper over the years, and I saw how people, mostly foreigners, were being prosecuted for unjust vexation. Maybe they had an incident at the bank where the bank did, most of the time, it was an American or an Australian, because that's most of the people in Manila are frankly American and Australians, and they were having a fight with a merchant about something. They can't. The Philippines is not that friendly in customer service. They don't do returns. You can't return anything. You can't get penalties removed at the bank. There's nothing you can do in your, because in the Philippines, unlike America, the corporation is the chief, not the worker. In America, the worker means everything. The boss means nothing. In America, the tenant means everything. The landlord means nothing. The power is with the people in America. And I mean that legislatively, public policy wise. If you're a tenant, you have all the rights. A landlord has virtually none in America. And I mean all the way to you not paying rent and trying to get rid of you. Same thing in corporations. It's all about the employee in America, not employers. They don't have many options. An employee makes an allegation in America, lying, fraud, they win, hands down. So in the Philippines, it's completely opposite. The corporation, the oligarchy controls everything. And while things are cheap, you have to just play by the rules. You can't fight with anybody about a return. You can't return anything in the Philippines. You can't reverse anything that's been assessed to you. You just have to go along. And I learned to be far more polite and less funny as years went on. I really did, because you have to be very careful. There are too many scammers that will take advantage of that law.
Mike, I never heard of anything so ridiculous.
Unjust vexation. Yeah. No, yeah, very bad.
Marcus, that's the show for today. We've got to wrap this up. We've got one more super chat. Black Cat 997. Mr. Frishman is an important American who tells the truth about his interactions overseas. He is a credit to our country, and he makes us proud.
I wish I could send him $5, for God's sakes. And he's absolutely right. God bless him. ArchieLuxury, I am Marcus Frishman, and you are not. Till next week.
There we go. Thank you for the sponsors: Patel Philippe, JT, Patel Philippe, Sam Davidson, Patel Philippe, Scott Conway, and Black Cat 997. That's the show. We'll be back next week. Love you all.
6:30. Very fun.
There we go, Marcus.